Today, I am very happy to present Global Weekly News, serial number 100. People's Dispatch is an international progressive media. It gives continuous news on global developments from working class point of view. I appeal to all the left cadres and sympathizers and general public to go through my weekly presentation on global news in a simple manner. We have to sensitize the working class and toiling masses regarding the class enemies, imperialism, Zionism, communalism, casteism, and ill effects of neoliberalism, bankruptcy of capitalism to solve the basic issues before the humanity, etc. Let us recollect what Karl Marx said in 1848. Philosophers have so far interpreted the world in various ways. The point is how to change it. I will be delighted if there are more likes, sharing and comments on my presentation. Please cooperate in increasing the number of viewers. Better late than never. You can go through my earlier episodes also. Thank you. With this introduction, I now start. Global Weekly News, serial number 100. First item, pro-Palestine London March. Close to 250,000 people hit the streets of London, United Kingdom, to commemorate Nakba. Nakba means catastrophe day, as well as call for an immediate ceasefire and end to the ongoing genocide in Gaza perpetrated by Israel. The march commemorated the 76th anniversary of the Nakba, which led to the forced displacement of 7.5 lakh Palestinians from their homes. The protesters demanded an immediate permanent ceasefire, restoration of full aid, and an end to the embargo on Gaza. They also demanded the Rishi Sunak-led United Kingdom government shall stop giving military aid to Israel. Free Palestine shall be formed. Rishi Sunak got blood in his hands. Capitalism is a plague against humanity. The protesters raised slogans like 1, 2, 3, 4, occupation no more. 5, 6, 7, 8, Israel is a terrorist state. Week after week, Palestine Solidarity March in London is getting stronger and stronger. Comrades, next we are going to see what happened to Julian Assange. Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks in Australia, exposed US war crimes in Afghanistan and Iraq in 2010. He took asylum in Ecuadorian embassy in London and stayed there for a few years. Upon US pressure, he was arrested and put in London Belmarsh prison for more than 5 years now. US government is trying to extradite Assange to US, investigate for crimes under US Espionage Act and get 175 years jail term for Assange. When the case came up in London High Court, Julian Assange was granted another opportunity to appeal his extradition to the US after the UK High Court found US assurances of a fair trial inadequate. The ruling was met with hope from Assange's supporters outside the court, as well as relief from family members and organizations who have been advocating for an end to his persecution. Comrades, next we are going to see in Pakistan a struggle. Since the government signed a deal with the IMF for $300 crore, mass protests have occurred regularly against a massive reduction in state subsidies on essential commodities, which has in turn driven up the prices of electricity and food items in Pakistan. People in Pakistan administered Azad Jammu Kashmir. People in Pakistan administered Azad Jammu Kashmir province observed a complete shutdown on 14th May, calling it as a day of mourning in protest of the killing of the 3 young protesters by security forces on 13th May. Jammu Kashmir Joint Awami Action Committee gave a call to march to Muzaffarabad, capital of Azad Jammu Kashmir. to demand the implementation of an agreement signed with the government in February to address the growing cost of living crisis. As per the agreement, the government agreed for subsidized wheat flour and an end of all privileges to the elite class as government subsidies. 70 leaders were arrested on 9th May. A strike was observed on 10th May. On 11th May, the second day of the strike, at least 90 protesters were injured when security forces used force to repress them. At least one police officer was killed when the protesters retaliated. As per the package announced on 19th May, people in Azad Jammu Kashmir will now be able to get the sack of wheat flour at $7. They will pay substantially reduced electricity rates as well. Comrades, next, who are all the enemies of student movement of USA? Let us see. Billionaires and officials unleash violence on the student movement. It has been weeks since the brutal state repression and right-wing violence unleashed against some of the most prominent Gaza Solidarity encampments, including the encampments at the University of California, Los Angeles and Columbia University. Encampments means putting up temporary tents in the university premises and launching struggles for Palestine. Since then, disturbing links between extreme right counter-protesters and billionaire donors, as well as collusion between city officials and police conducting violent repression. At University of California, Los Angeles, Zionist pro-Israeli counter-protesters conducted several rounds of attacks against the Gaza Solidarity encampment. They threw bags of maize injected with an unknown substance, as well as cockroaches. They launched fireworks at the encampment. None of the counter-protesters was arrested. Comrades, there is a small island called Haiti. 21st May, we remember the Haitian revolutionary Toussaint Louverture, who fought for an end to slavery and independence from French colonialism. He lived in the period 1743 to 1803. To this day, Western powers have not allowed Haiti to truly be free. Next, comrades, 3 countries have taken an important initiative on recognition of Palestine. On 23rd May, Simon Harris, Prime Minister of Ireland, made an important announcement. Today, Ireland, Norway and Spain are announcing that we recognize the state of Palestine. Each of us will now undertake whatever national steps are necessary to give effect to that decision. In the lead up to today's announcement, I have spoken with a number of other leaders and counterparts, and I am confident that further countries will join us in taking this important step in the coming weeks. This is a historic and important day for Ireland and for Palestine. On 21st January 1919, Ireland asked the world to recognize our right to be an independent state. Our message to the free nations of the world was a plea for international recognition of our independence, emphasizing our distinct national identity, our historical struggle, and our right to self-determination and justice. Today we use the same language to support the recognition of Palestine as a state. We do so because we believe in freedom and justice as the fundamental principles of international law, and because we believe that permanent peace can only be secured upon the basis of free will of a free people. Comrades, next, US has got the audacity even to sanctions against International Criminal Court. US sanctions against ICC. On May 20, International Criminal Court Chief Prosecutor Karim Khan issued arrest warrants for 2 Israeli leaders, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Gallant, who stand accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity. including but not limited to starvation of civilians as a method of warfare, willfully causing great suffering or serious injury to body or health, and intentionally directing attacks against a civilian population. The court also issued warrants for 3 Hamas leaders. Karim Khan appointed an independent panel to review the arrest warrant process. This is not a witch hunt, he said. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has suggested that he will work with the U.S. lawmakers, the MPs, to issue sanctions against the International Criminal Court over arrest warrants against the Israeli leaders. Blinken will get support from both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party MPs. U.S. President Joe Biden has also registered his outrage at the arrest warrants. He said that there is no equivalence between Israel and Hamas. He said that U.S. will always stand with Israel against threats to Israel's security. Comrades, Rishi Sunak of the United Kingdom made an important announcement of an earlier election. Early election declared by Sunak. Voters in the United Kingdom will head to the polls on July 4 after an unexpected announcement by Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Rishi Sunak, on 22nd May, launched the process towards a general election. Many analysts believe that the Conservative Party's poor polling results, trailing 20% behind Keir Starmer's Labour Party, would prompt Sunak to hold on to power until the end of the year. However, Rishi Sunak appears to have concluded that the situation would not improve for the Conservatives, who have been in power for the past 14 years. Despite the Prime Minister proudly announcing new inflation indicators nearly in line with the government's goals, UK citizens continue to suffer the consequences of Conservative government policies. Skyrocketing prices have made everything from food to housing more inaccessible to the majority of British citizens. Public services, including the well-loved National Health Service, have been devastated by privatization agendas and budget cuts. The rights of the working class and migrants have reached historic lows under recent Conservative administrations. The anti-migrant safety of Rwanda policy, wherein asylum seekers would be deported to Rwanda, has driven fear among asylum seekers and the displaced. Labour Party leader Keir Starmer urged voters to turn the page in the upcoming election and give Labour Party the mandate to rebuild Britain and change Britain. Jeremy Corbyn, the former Labour Party leader, is representing Islington constituency for the past 40 years. Keir Starmer did not raise his voice for peace and liberation as Jeremy Corbyn did. Jeremy Corbyn may not be given the seat this time. He may contest as an independent. Next, comrade, even in this 21st century, colonialism still prevails. New Caledonia is a small island. It is 17,000 kilometers away from mainland France. New Caledonia is part and parcel of France, but 17,000 kilometers away from mainland France, 1,210 kilometers east of Australia. It is an island in the Pacific Ocean. Its capital is Nouméa. Its population is about 272,000 only. 2 Senate members and 2 MPs for lower house of French Parliament are elected from New Caledonia. As per the Nouméa Accord of 1998, New Caledonia may seek self-determination. Against the spirit of the Accord, now new voting rules are announced as alleged by local pro-independence groups and French left-wing factions. These changes to voting rules would allow individuals who moved to the island after 1998 to vote in provincial elections. French left-wing factions emphasize that the rights of the indigenous Kanak population, Kanak ethnicity, Kanak population, which constitutes a bit more than 40% of the island's residents, are at risk. The Kanak people continue to live in significantly worse conditions than inhabitants of New Caledonia who originate from Europe. Poverty rates are significantly higher in Kanak communities as are unemployment and imprisonment rates, despite French policymakers claiming that inequities have been addressed in the past 30 years. 6 people were killed last week in New Caledonia following widespread unrest triggered by changes to voting rules approved by French lawmakers. French government has deployed over 1,000 additional armed forces to the island. The unrest has primarily involved Caledonian youth from working class and poor communities who have erected barricades, blocked roads and clashed with police in protest against the reform. Despite holding significant nickel reserves, New Caledonia's industry has suffered in recent years. Lastly, comrades, we are going to see one important conference which is going to take place in Detroit, Michigan of United States. The conference is a People's Conference for Palestine. From May 24 to May 26, hundreds of Palestine solidarity organizers and supporters will gather at Detroit of Michigan State of the United States for the People's Conference for Palestine. After assessing the present moment, the conference will chart out the next phase of struggle for Palestine. The conference has been convened by Palestinian and anti-imperialist organizations from across North America, including the Palestinian Youth Movement, the People's Forum, and many others. Almost 300 organizations have endorsed the conference, including the Party for Socialism, Black Lives Matter Canada, American Muslims for Palestine, etc. For months, organizations in North America have been strengthening and leading a mass movement to advance the cause of Palestinian national liberation from within the imperialist belly. The popular and revolutionary character of the movement has been borne out by the millions marching in the streets, direct actions across all major cities, and student encampments demanding divestment in the universities and colleges. That is, the universities and colleges shall not have any links with the Israeli weapon industry or Israeli educational institutions. That is what divestment. On 18th October 1975, in Nazareth of Israel, there was a large public gathering of Palestinians aimed at confronting Zionist Israel's plans to confiscate Arab lands. It is one method in a long history of Palestinians using conferences to concretize strategic objectives and consolidate on ideological questions. The conference has already collected over $1 lakh. The conference's sessions, assemblies and teachings will focus on building strong political organizations, confronting Zionism and imperialism in the heart of empire, advancing the ideological struggle through art, culture, media and education, and supporting the student movement to continue to exert pressure inside and outside their campuses. Thank you, comrades. Lal Salam. See you next week with episode 101. Lal Salam.